Böhmer is an absolute genius and a master of emotional harmony. His tracks work amazingly on Spotify and also on big festival systems. And in this video, we're gonna break down his harmony system inside out. We're gonna see the basic structure of the pads, the atmospheres, the melodies, the glide layers, everything. My name is Leo Loretti from Abstract Music Lab, and now let's dive right in. We're gonna get started here with the bass first, and we are here in the scale of E major, and we're just playing here the second, then we go into the fourth and end up in the E major scale, just doing an octave up just to create a little bit of a harmony in the end. With the piano, we're just playing everything an octave up. Super simple. This is the harmonic skeleton of the track, and everything that we're going to do from now on is going to be based on these chords. So let's go to step number 2. To make this progression more emotional, we're adding a deeper pad. This is going to add depth by making the harmony fuller and more emotional with the voicings that we're using here in this chord. You can see that we're starting here with the same foundation of the bass line. This is how it sounds like with the bass. And you can even make this more emotional if you want to activate this note over here, either by playing it here, or by playing it an octave up. You can see how this activates another layer of emotion into the sound, but what are these chords essentially? The first thing is just an F sharp minor chord. As you can see it, I'm just gonna bring it down. It's an F sharp minor with a few inversions. What is an inversion? When we pick some of the notes, for example this, we invert it over here. The second one is a power chord, so we're essentially just playing here the tone, the fifth, and the tone again. And we're also playing the tone and the fifth here on top to create another depth of emotion. Listen without. Listen with. And changing the note here midway through the chord creates a nice tension into the sound. And then we end up in this last chord, which is an E major chord. Just so you can see, we're using the tone again over here to create another tension, another variation, because we're using tone, third, and fifth, and again the tone again. This not only adds depth into the sound, but it also adds a bit of variation. So it's not the same chord progression just being static, it moves along the way, and it makes the chord progression more dynamic and easier and better to listen to. In addition to that, you can always add a drone pad, something that evolves and creates a more atmospheric sound to create a bit of continuity behind those chords. Listen, for example, to this. This keeps the chord progression evolving while adding other notes that are going to enrich and harmonize the chord progression that we have and make everything feel a bit richer and also more cinematic. You can do this either by using a pad, as this one that we're using, but you can also do this by using a background cinematic atmosphere and just wash it out with a lot of reverb and delays, for example. What are we playing essentially over here? Again, we're playing here tone, fifth, tone, second, or ninth, and fifth again. So if you listen, but by keeping everything continuous and not changing the chord, we're just adding everything, that creates that sense of evolution and also change across the chord progression that we have. Really nice, right? Now, to add a bit of movement and richness into the sound, we're creating a pad that adds a lot of texture into this. So we're just copying here the MIDI that we had before in the deep pad, as we had it over here in the deep pad. Now we're adding that ninth. Remember that it was deactivated? Now we're adding it. Why is this moving so much and why is this creating that richness into the sound? A few things. One, it's the richness of the sound by itself. It has a more distorted kind of feeling, as you can listen over here with the overdrive. And also, if you go here into the MIDI, you can also see that the LFO, it LFOs the cutoff, so it keeps opening and closing. And it also swells from left to right, as you can see in the use of this auto pan as well. So left and right, textures, movement. This is especially important for long chords that if you just play them without any movement, it might feel a little bit static. So that's what this is adding: movement, brightness, and texture into the chord progression. Now, to create a bit of tension and release into your chord progression, another thing that we add here is another pad layer, which sounds a bit like the deep pad that we have. We're playing here a tone, fifth, and third here. Here, differently, we're playing a tone, fifth, and fourth. So if this was here, you can see that it was going to play a fourth. Which already adds more harmonics into the chord progression that we're doing. And then to finish it up, we're just playing here just octaves. As you can see, E1, E2, and E3. And this is where the tension is coming from. All the voicing and these different notes that we're using create a lot of tension into the chord progression. So now if we listen to everything together, this fourth creates the tension, and this is where we release that tension. And this is one of the core Böhmer harmony moves whenever he has his songs. Now, to create rhythm and energy into the sound, we're also adding these mono plucks, as you can listen here. These create rhythm and energy into the melodics. So the pads sustain the sound and the plucks drive them a little bit, as you can listen now with everything together. This is a fifth, this is a fourth, and this is a third. And again, everything is complementing each other. You can see that we're not just stacking and just duplicating layers and playing the same chord progression and the same voicing all the time. We're stacking in different ways, and we're stacking in a way that with every chord, there's some sense of movement within the sound. This creates forward motion and momentum into the sound. To top it all, we also have the melody theme, and it sounds like this. It's simple, but really emotional, and it adds a lot of energy into the sound without fighting with the original chord progression that we have. But how do we do this? We are starting here with a note that is fixed, which is this E over here. And then they create the variation. E is the foundation of this chord, and it serves as a seventh for the first chord progression. It serves as a fifth for the second chord progression and is the root of the third one. So the E is always really harmonic with all the three chords that we have. So finding a note that it's really harmonic with all the notes in your chord progression, that's the starting point. Then we create another layers over here. As you can see that we're playing here fifth, fourth, third, and then second, and then again, same thing, just to create variation and to create a bit of movement into it. And you can see that sometimes it also harmonizes with the chord progression that we have on top, as you can see it. This adds movement into the chord progression, it adds a melody that we can hook ourselves into, and it just makes the whole chord progression a lot better together if you listen to everything together now. One important mention, because the chord progression changes a lot, we have a lot of different variations in the chord, we're not making the lead progression as well so different and changing a lot, because otherwise it could be a bit too much to process. To finish it all, we also have this glide layer, which is playing pretty much the same thing as the mono plucks, as you can listen. Without the mono plucks now. Listen with the lead. This serves as a counter melody. So whenever we have this main melody, we have a counter melody that we can use to take the focus a little bit away of the main melody and make again the chord progression dynamic and keep on growing and keep on making it dynamic and always moving forward. So again, if we want to listen to everything together now. You can see how this glide layer also adds almost like a vocal-like expression into the sound. It's not a flashy lead, it's just an emotional glue between everything that we have together. As you can see, this doesn't come only from one layer. We start with everything. We have the structure first, we add the depth, a bit of brightness, a bit of texture, a bit of tension, movement. Then we add a lead to complement everything and hook the listener, and a counter melody. And that's how you build this kind of immersive Ben Böhmer style harmonic sound that it's really amazing and we all love it. Now, if you want to learn how to produce this style of tracks like Ben Böhmer, you can check out the Melodic House Academy Volume 2 that is available here in the description below. It includes samples, presets, Ableton projects, and course modules to get your tracks to release ready and sounding amazing just like Ben Böhmer. This is Leo Loretti from Abstract Music Lab signing off. Ciao!